I am Flipster Gaming, and today I'm going to be showing you a theme park I've been working long and hard on. So, we're going to first start at the beginning of my theme park. As you can see, this is more of crazy rides, Gravitron, and tons of other things. Come on, up. Alright, so if we come over here, little trash. Okay, if we come over to the front, as you can see I have a 4-star park. I have tons of roller coasters and lots of things to do. So first we are going to start out with the teacups. It is kind of like at Disney World, where the Mad Hatter's teacup ride, which is actually pretty fun. So if we go over here, you got a little food, and I think one of the coolest rides, if you want to get a sky-high view of the park, an observation tower. Now if you come around this way, you got a twister ride. It's where you sit down and it spins you round and around. The chair spins with the little big bolt here. So if I put this in, if I sit down, no, you know what, let's put this in testing, and as you can see, it looks pretty fun. Now let's just pop that back into open, and it goes pretty slow a little bit, but I mean, I could turn up the speed, but that costs a little bit of money that I cannot afford. Next we've got our roller coaster. This was the first ever roller coaster in my park, and it's short but pretty fast. Next we've got kind of like the observation tower over there. It just doesn't drop you rapidly. This drops you really quick, so it's kind of a short ride. Next we got some fruit stands and some more hats. As you can see, if you wanted to use the restroom, you got the restroom sitting straight over there. And there you go, right there. You start out going up quickly and carefully. Now we've got a pretty fun and a little short of a ride. It's the train ride, and it's really cool because you got little puffs of smoke coming out. I'm sure it's just a little pieces of steam though, because I'm sure not that many theme parks would put smoke in their trains. Now if we come over here, you got a little nice view of some water and lily pads with some good lighting. This is where you can buy little treats like I don't know what this one is. What is that one? That one is the slushy stall, and that one is cotton candy. So if you were in the mood for a little treat, you could come over here and sit down. Next, if you come over here, it cost me a little bit of cash sitting over here, but it was worth it, and it was worth it good, because you got some hat stands out here, a restroom, and another Santa hat stand. Then you've got the food court. I fit almost every single food court spot in here, and I used a little bit of money to buy some really cool glass panes for the roof. Next you have over here the food, popcorn, fruit, again, burgers, some fries, and pizza. Now you got some more seats to rest your feet and have a little treat. Now you got more treats and drinks. You've got hot drink stand, slushy stand, soda stand, ice cream stand, and some cotton candy stands again. So now if we go over here, you've got like a little speedboat launcher. It brings you up all the way to the top. A bungee rope is connected to the front. Then it lets go and it makes you go flying towards more of that water. So if you wanted to get wet and you were hot, go on that ride. Now we've got the Crazy Mouse. This was the second ever roller coaster I built on here, and if I can quickly get on, if I can quickly get on, I can show you guys. It's pretty short still, but it goes to the really high height, and it goes pretty fast. It goes really fast once you go down. Once you reach that part right where you see part of that water ride, that's where you slow down. But as you can see, you get an aerial view of the park just sitting here. And I messed up on this part, but what is really nice is you got more roller coasters there, and I added more roller coaster tracks going over the windows because I thought that was the best idea. It would be probably pretty fun seeing roller coaster carts going over you and seeing them go, and you got a little person floating. Great. But as you can see, it goes pretty fast, goes over things, and you stop here to slow down. So I've talked about the trains and most of that part of the park. Now I'm going to move on to here. Right. Yes, I know. Okay, so you're going to want to walk close over here, and you've got a vintage car ride. It is more like the train ride, but it is cars. Now if we move over here, you've got some more food stands and some more rides. I think I've talked about these before, but if you come over here, you've got this thing called the space rings. And thank you, this NPC named Erica, for testing this out for us. As you can see, it tips you upside down, sideways, and forwards. Now, if we come over here to this side of the park, you can go past the teacups and into here. We are about to enter the crazy part of the park. Here you've got Fireball. It kind of like circles you around and makes you go flying. As you can see right there, it goes up and down until it goes over a few times. And over here, I've built a little building with some lighting. I call these the house teas. As I call them the house teas because they were inside a building, and as I said, they're kind of like the teacups. Now, if you come over here, this is only for extreme people only, but it starts to spin. Then once you get up sideways, it's going to start going up. As you can see right there, you can see the carts starting to move up right there, and you can go more there. This is called the Enterprise, and it is awesome. Now we move over here to the Gravitron. You can see with the people in here, it's kind of obvious where it spins you around fast and quick right there. Now we are going to move on to the next part. It's naturally called Frisbee, but I called it Catch Me. Catch Me! Because it can easily go spinning and you're swinging side to side. I really think this is a pretty fun ride if it was in real life. Now you've got the swinging ship, and I called it Tsunami. And I don't get why that got backed away, but as you can tell, it's a swinging ship. Now if we come over here to that side of the park, these parts of the roller coaster isn't mine, which kind of stinks because that would be awesome to have. But as you can see that the Ferris wheel is mine. Come on. Alright, we just gotta get over here. Yep. No, alright. There we go. We got a little more of a roller coaster here by the vintage cars. And then you have a water ride here, kind of like Splash Mountain a little bit. It's just not in a log. It's a water ride, and you get in the cart and you go around. It doesn't have that many hills, but it's pretty fun. Next you got over here is the Ferris wheel. The Ferris wheel is pretty fun. It still gives you a really good view of the park, and you have the ability, it stops sometimes. Yeah. But over here we got the spiral slide. Players have to kind of like get up on the slide, but once you get up here, there will be a little mat that spawns. And once you get on the mat, the ride will start. Hopefully, I don't know, but the mat kind of swings. It's like a slide. Now if we move on to the back of the park, right over here, as you can see, we got some more roller coasters and water rides. This one we have what is kind of like Splash Mountain. It's a log flume ride, and over here we got a pretty big roller coaster with some huge space if like a bunch of people wanted to ride this. And it's cool because there's little, when it starts, this right here is kind of like a propeller, and it starts spinning, and you got little flames coming out the back, which is pretty fun. And you got lights on the side and the front. And I think that's pretty much the whole entire park, unless I missed something. Ah, yes, I know. Back here, there's a few more rides. You know what? Just walk through it. All right. If you go past this water part of the ride and go back towards the crazy park, you can see there are a few more rides. It just passed the Tsunami ride. If you come back here, you will see Topple Tower. It swings you pretty weirdly and far. It tips you side to side, very close to the ground. And right here we've got the launched free-for-all. It keeps launching you until you finally reach the ground. Now we've got the flying coaster, which I named Fly. Why I named it Fly, it took me forever to do, and I tried to make the carts as best as I could look like planes, kind of like green planes. But as you can see, that person right there riding it, it brings you up. It kind of swerves a few sides, which is really fun, and it kind of brings you up where your face is heading towards the ground. But it keeps going over this part right here, and I tried to make the railing kind of look like clouds and the poles kind of look like the blue sky. Now if we move over here, There's another kind of like turbine one. It is your only problem is it only has one cart, and it is not as long as the other one. But it is pretty fast, pretty fun, and I put a few turbo parts of the roller coaster onto the ride. I really like this game because you know how we saw all that shopping right there back at all the hats. What's really nice is the NPCs slash people slash visitors kind of come, and when they buy the hats stay on them, which is really funny. So you see, I guess the Santa hats are more popular than any other hat. I mean, it makes sense because, hey, it's Santa, but it's kind of weird. So I think that is about the whole entire park, which is pretty awesome. And yeah, you've got more of a food and shopping center. I will keep updating this park, and once I feel like I have done the park a really good job, I will make a second version of this, giving you a better and bigger tour of my park. As you can see, I added some decorations and pretty cool stuff, but I will also make sure I add more trash cans because all those gray piles is trash. So, if you enjoyed this video of you guys and me showing you my park, please hit that like button as hard as you can and subscribe to my channel. Please, it means the world to me. So much, and thank you to whoever does so. And if you really enjoyed this video, again, leave a big fat thumbs up, and I'll be seeing you guys later. Good